I've just seen too many things that have shaken me out of even believing anything anymore. There's anomalies, there's X factors, there's magic essentially, is what I'm kind of getting at. There's magic that's built into the fabric of reality, and if we're tightly bound, and this obviously goes far beyond just like nutrition, but if we're tightly bound in our life, then the magic will elude us. And we will create a belief system that is hyper-materialistic, it's potentially atheistic, and it's scientismic, which scientism is not the same thing as science, by the way. Has anyone heard that term, scientism? Scientism is a material, atheistic, basically religion that pretends to be scientific.
You mean like Western medicine?
Yes, exactly. Science is an objective approach to finding out an unbiased result based on an environment or certain particular variables within a study or something, whatever the deal is. But it's an unbiased, objective approach to just seeing what's true. Scientism is not objective, it's not unbiased, and it's highly manipulated based on particular agendas to get the result that they want and to put that out there. But because we weren't educated on distinction and discernment, we don't really necessarily know the difference. But once you do know the difference, you can spot it out. You can see it. You don't even need to know about, as far as the rabbit hole goes, you can spot it out and you can see it within yourself. And then all of a sudden you go start looking at the diet world and you can start to spot it out based on the vibration of the person telling you what to do. Right? Like, have you had a diet book before and you turned the cover and looked at the picture of the person on it? Like Dr. Atkins? Didn't he die of a heart disease? I mean, what? But that's supposed to be the heart-healthy diet? It's like, nothing is hidden anymore. It's all just being put out there in the open. You have these two diametrically opposed worlds. You have the scientism, however you want to think about it. You have, in the medical world, you have people on loudspeakers and white trench coats basically eating out of vending machines telling you that, like, diabetes is incurable, we don't even know what causes it, it's a blood sugar disorder, your pancreas isn't working, we need to inject insulin for the rest of your life, or cancer, you need to cut, burn, poison right on the spot. We need to vaccinate your child because they're going to get some sexually transmitted disease. And so you need to prevent what? And then all the booster shots and all that kind of stuff, right? It's like, so, okay, what? No. They're telling me that this is totally incurable. I'm a mistake. My baby's a mistake. I'm broken. We're broken. And we need medical intervention for basically anything. And I'm gonna come in with a viral infection and they're gonna put me on antibiotics. Huh, that's interesting. That sounds a lot like laziness to me. No critical thinking. Here you go, just take it. You might as well, why not? Here you go. It's like candy, just take it. And then you have the other side, which is like, Dr. Gabriel Cousins in Patagonia, Arizona, cured diabetes type 2, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, all done. Have a nice life. Diabetes type 1, 30% success rate of reversal. That's unheard of. What do they do over there? Raw living food, sprouted seeds and sprouted nuts and seeds, grass powders, vegetables, minimal sugar fruit, superfood green powders, remineralizing the body, realkalizing the body, getting microbiome integrity back because your gut microbiome is pretty much the dictator or the most influential factor of every other part of your body, specifically the immune system. We know that if your microbiome, which is your biological garden, right? If you think of it that way, it's like your inner ecosystem, similar to like an outer rainforest. The direct reflection of nature. And so you have a symbiotic environment of organisms that need to be basically 80% on the same page. And then if that's the case, then the 20% of opportunistic or invasive organisms that we call bacteria, fungal infections, yeast, candida, mold, parasites, all that kind of stuff, then it'll keep them at bay and it can actually pleomorphically transform them into beneficial organisms. But if the environment is, if the rainforest has been deforested and polluted and contaminated, and the mineral content in your microbiome has been stripped, and you're mostly in an acidic environment, then those organisms override everything, and that's how we get the big C word. What is that? Mostly speaking, it's either hormonally driven and it's a viral fungal condition that has gone way out of control. And the tumor is actually the body's last-ditch effort to protect itself. It creates a buffer system we call a tumor, or candida, for example. Candida is actually a buffer. It's actually trying to save you. But we antibioticize because we got to kill. And so there's nothing alive left, right? The body is like, I mean, just imagine, like, the body is a living organism. Like, does that make sense? Like, life begets life. But instead, it's like we're going to introduce death to get more life. I don't know. It doesn't quite make sense. You know, in that particular example, getting the microbiome tuned up is really, really important, to say the least. There's another thing here too that is about empowerment, because it goes beyond logical understanding. Is you don't actually have to know about most of this. It's good to know about it so you can navigate with some sophistication, your own awareness, and kind of navigate the minefield of all this stuff. But it's also intuitive intelligence.